Hello everyone, welcome back to your favorite sports channel Trivia Fever. You're here with your host master Priyadarshan Babu, and you know why I'm here. I'm here to tell you the answers of the questions I'd asked you yesterday. Well, there were 5 questions which had 5 very interesting answers, and also along with that, I'm going to ask you 5 more challenging new questions for you from the world of sports. Well, I hope you should be able to crack all of them, but at least you can give it a try. And whatever your guess is, do not forget to leave it in the comments below. And while you're doing that, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel and the videos as well. And as I've already told you before, I'm always up for some suggestions or any collaborations of any sort. So if any of y'all are interested, or if any of y'all want to give me any feedback in regards to any of my videos or any of my channels, please do feel free to do so. I will be looking forward to that. And on this note, I'll first start off with the answers of yesterday's questions. So here is question number 1 for yesterday. Who are the only players to have won the golden ball at both the FIFA Under-20 World Cup and the FIFA World Cup? So there are only 2 players who have managed to do this. And this is one hint, and once I tell you this hint, all of you will know who I'm talking about. So both these players are from the country Argentina, and I think you have been able to crack the answer now. So the 2 players that I'm talking about are Lionel Messi and the late Maradona. So that was the answer for the first question. Moving on to question number 2 for yesterday, here goes. Throughout his career, he has used only 3 jersey numbers: 23, 12, and 45. All you have to do is tell me the name of this superstar basketballer. So, well, he would be one of the basketball legends, one of the basketball greats, and also has a very successful shoe brand under him. So, the player that we are talking about is none other than Michael Jordan, or the MJ of basketball. So that is the answer for the second question. Moving on to question number 3 for yesterday. Listen carefully, here goes. Who became the world number 1 on 25th of February 2002? The first African American woman to do so in the open era. Well, this would have been the easier one of the lot. You would have had a confusion between 2 names, I'm guessing. That is the 2 sisters. But well, the sister who was actually crowned as world number 1 was Venus Williams. So that was the answer for the third question. Moving on to question number 4. Here goes. The name of this particular player is Lenny Rodriguez, who is obviously an Indian footballer. What was the first thing that was achieved by this player? So, it's a very interesting answer. It's a little long, but listen carefully. On 22nd July 2014, Rodriguez was selected as the first ever pick in the 2014 ISL, inaugural domestic draft by Pune City. He made his debut for the club in their first ever match against Delhi Dynamos on 14th October 2014. He started and played the whole match. As it ended, love all. So we all know a lot about world football, but how many of us know this much about Indian football? And if you're a football fan, it's necessary to keep a tab on your country as well. Why not? So that brings us to our last question for yesterday. So here it is. So she became the first Indian to break into the top 10 in the PSA women's rankings. All you had to do was tell me the name of this particular sportswoman. So her name is Deepika Palikal Karthik. So PSA stands for the Professional Squash Association, and she has managed to put India onto that map. So it's kudos to her and great going, and hopefully we will be hearing a lot more about her in the coming future. So all the best to her for that. And that brings us to the end of our 5 questions for yesterday. It's time to move on to the 5 questions for today. So here is question number 1. This particular footballer has covered the most ground, that is 68.8 kilometers, for any player in the 2014 Football World Cup. He has scored 5 goals in the whole tournament. So who is this footballer that we are talking about? So that is question number 1. Moving on to question number 2. Here goes. So Mohammad Siraj and Shubman Gill made their test debut for India in the second test between Australia and India in the 2020 Boxing Day test. The last such incident where two or more players debuted for India was back in 2011. One of the players is our current Indian captain, that's Virat Kohli. All you have to do is tell me the name of the other two players. So that was question number 2. Moving on to question number 3. Here it is. He was born in the Indian hill station of Shimla. His father was a major with the 2nd Gurkha Rifles and lost a leg during the Second World War. A year after his son's birth, the whole family moved to Surrey. He went on to represent England and made his Test debut in 1981 at the age of 35. He picked up 14 wickets from the 4 tests that he played. So what is the name of this cricketer? And I'll drop a hint here. This has something to do with current affairs. So that brings us to our penultimate question for today. So I think this is an easier one of the lot. So I think many of you should be able to crack it. So NADA or NADA is formed by the Union government under the Societies Registration Act. NADA includes scientists and representatives from the Indian Olympic Association. The motto of this organization is Play Fair. Last of the player who got in trouble with NADA is the boxer Nishu. So all you have to do is tell me, what does NADA stand for? And do not Google, try to crack the answer by yourself. That brings us to our last question for today. It's a very interesting one, so listen carefully. Ajinkya Rahane has become the 2nd Indian batsman to post 200s in tests at Melbourne. So who was the first one to achieve this particular feat? And just to give you a small hint, this player that I'm talking about, the answer that is, the player has also got his name. So his name has been used for a particular term in cricket, which has got a lot of popularity now after the inception of the IPL. So that sums up our 5 questions for today. Thank you for watching the video, and as I've told you, do not forget to leave your answers in the comments below. I will be seeing you all tomorrow with the answers of today's questions and 5 more interesting questions. So do stay tuned in, do watch out for my video. Till tomorrow, that's all from me. So stay safe, take care, and a very, very good night.